Hey there, I'm Nick, and in this video I will show you how I moved my online courses from a platform like Udemy, where I don't own the information of my customers, to a platform like Teachable, where I do own this information, and because of that, how I grew my business to hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is video 4 out of 7, where I'm walking you end to end through how I made $224,000 by creating and selling online courses so that you can do it too and earn hundreds of thousands of dollars by doing this as a side hustle in your free time. In my case, I published courses about how to get hired by Amazon because I worked for Amazon for 5 years and I knew the process very deeply. All right, so in the videos so far, you have learned how to validate your course idea, how to come up with it, how to start with an established platform like Udemy with marketing and very good reach, and how to start with a free download course in the beginning, then how to start charging very small amounts of money for your course to prove the concept, and lastly, so far, how to raise your price until you figure out what is it that your customers are willing to buy. So you've proven all those points, you've made all that wonderful progress, and now you're ready to take your courses to a platform where you would have access to your customers' information. Why do you want to do that? There's 2 reasons why you want to do it. Reason number 1 is because in order for you to grow your business, you need to know who your customers are. There's no way for you to understand why your customers are buying your course unless you talk to them, unless you find out their motivation to do so, and unless you have their customer information in order to reach out to them and start that conversation. There's no way for you to gain that insight. So that's the number 1 and most valuable reason of why you should move your courses to a place like Teachable. The second reason is because Udemy and platforms like Udemy with a wonderful outreach and lots of presence online, they are going to charge you an arm and a leg to sell you content. In Udemy's case, they're charging 50% of, at least they used to charge me 50% of my course value, course price. So I'm effectively working for them and I want to work for myself instead. Okay, as a next step, let me share my online dashboards with these platforms for online courses to illustrate my point and show you everything live. So this is my Udemy dashboard, and this is the essential course to prepare for the Amazon interview, the course that I started out with. Here it is. I've made $2,000 selling on Udemy. And if I go to my revenue report, here are the months in which I have been selling the course. If I click on July, here's what I mean. In the month of July, I had 2 customers who purchased the course. The first one is Ghost Bear Gray and the second one is AC. I don't even need to hide these names for me on the screen. You can see how Udemy allows customers to use aliases. I don't know what to do with this information. I don't know why Ghost Bear Gray or AC bought my content. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know who they are. How the heck am I supposed to grow my business? I cannot. So that's reason number 1 why you must move away from Udemy after you validated your concepts. Reason number 2 is take a look at this take rate. I'm selling the course for $12 and I'm only getting $6.50. And by the way, that take rate stays consistent. So if I go back to a later point in time where I have already proven that customers are willing to spend hundreds of dollars for my content, here it is, and I'm going to highlight, and I'm hiding these names obviously for confidentiality's sake. I'm selling my course for $200 and I'm only getting $100 back. This is a shame. So because of these 2 reasons, very clearly illustrated here, you cannot stay with Udemy. That's all fine and well, but what platform should you go to where you have access to your customer information? In my experience, I've gone through 3 online platforms that give you such access. Those platforms are Teachable, FreshLearn, and Squarespace. I recommend that you use either Teachable or Squarespace. I'll share with you my Teachable dashboard because I did start with Teachable and I want to share with you everything I do as always. But you can consider going to a different platform afterwards. It's up to you. I think Teachable is a great place to start. Okay, so here's my Teachable platform. The sales here are slightly different than the 224,000 that I've been sharing with you. That's because the 224 happened over a 3-year period, and I want to be consistent when I share numbers with you. And then because after that, I moved my business away from Teachable to Squarespace. With that out of the way, let's look at the equivalent of the customer information that Teachable lets you have access to. So this first person here, I'm gonna click on them. JHP is the name that I'm showing you. If I click on JHP, you can see they're based out of Great Britain, which is good. I can see the sign up source. It's a YouTube video that I had published with which they found me. And I can see their email here, which I've hidden for confidentiality reasons. And then if I click on their name, I'm gonna see a bunch of other information about them. Let me do that really quickly. I can link accounts, I can add notes, I can see activity, the number of logins, so on and so forth. Now you can see how important having access to this information is, because I can email JHP and ask them, why did you enroll in my course? Thank you so much for the vote of confidence. Let's jump on a call for 30 minutes, completely free of charge, to find out how I can help you more. On and on and on. And that's exactly what I'm doing with my customers. And that's exactly how you're growing the business. Let's talk about the second reason of why you want to move to a platform like Teachable, which is their take rate. The fee that they charge you is much less than the 50 whopping percent that Udemy is taking off of your hard-earned revenue. So in Teachable's case, if I go to their pricing page, you can see they have different plans. I was on the Pro plan, and the Pro plan costs $120 a month currently, and they charge you 0% in transaction fees. Now, it's important to keep in mind that this is transaction fees that Teachable charges you. On top of that, all of these plans are gonna charge you about 3% in credit card processing fees through Stripe. So whatever percentage transaction fees you see in any of these schools, you should add 3% on top for credit card processing and invoicing. So you can see their plans go from free, basic, pro, pro plus, and in the free plan, you pay 10% transaction fee plus $1. In the basic plan, you pay 5%. And then in the pro and pro plus plan, you pay 0%. You can publish 50 courses here in the pro plan. You can publish 200 courses here. You have affiliate marketing, you have admin seats, you can upsell to increase order value, so on and so forth. This is a really, really good platform, and I recommend it. They charge more than what my current platform charges with Squarespace, but you cannot go wrong with Teachable. Either Teachable or Squarespace are gonna take really good care of you. All right, so in terms of timing of the move, how do you make that? I'll show you what I did in Teachable's case. You can see in my dashboard here, I published my first course on Teachable on 31st of October 2018. If we flip to Udemy, you can see that I stayed with them until January of 2019. So for a while, I kept my presence on both platforms. And I did that because moving a course is not trivial. The larger your course, the more video files you have, the bigger your curriculum, practice exercises, quizzes, whatnot, the longer it's gonna take you to transition the course to a new platform. And also, you want to learn the ropes of your new platform, of your new home, before you fully commit to it. So in my case, I went from October, November, December, January, in keeping two separate presences with pretty much the same courses on both platforms until I was comfortable with the transition, until I went through all the product development and video transition and so on and so forth steps, until I set up my new pages on Teachable, because unlike Udemy, where they take care of everything for you with Teachable, you not only are going to have to migrate your courses, you're going to have to create your website, your homepage, your About Me page, so on and so forth. Don't worry about your prior customers on Udemy. Even if you stop selling a course on Udemy, everybody who has purchased it is entitled to it. In some cases, if you continue to add to your course, which you must, you can reach out to your Udemy customers via the Udemy chat system and suggest to them that you have a new place where they can go and get re-entitled to the same course for free because they've already paid you once. But those are all transitionary steps which you can figure out on your own. Now, let me talk more deeply about the importance of knowing your customer and why that's an absolute must. In order for you to grow your business, you need to understand your customer incredibly deeply. In my case, I'm helping people land a job with Amazon, and I need to understand how these people find me, why are they purchasing my content, and how I can reach out to them, because I can no longer rely on the marketing muscle of a platform like Udemy. I need to build that online presence myself. So in the case of Amazon Bound, after talking to countless customers, I had built a very concrete behavior steps of what the average customer goes through in order to interview with Amazon. The customer usually starts the process as an experiment. What happens is they get pinged by a recruiter at Amazon on their LinkedIn profile, and the recruiter says, "Dear customer, I would like to suggest that you should apply to this role at Amazon." And then the customer is flattered and says, "Of course I'll apply, there's no skin off my nose." So then they apply through the first couple of steps. They submit their resume. They take a few online assessment tests. They have a preliminary interview screen with the recruiter and the hiring manager. And let's say everything goes through well up to that point. And then the recruiter says, "Congratulations, dear customer. We now want to interview you with a loop of 5 Amazonians for this amazing role that's going to pay you $250,000 or more." And then at this point, the Amazon Bound future customer says, "Of course I would love to do that. And let's book some time." They book a time, maybe a week to 2 weeks further ahead in time. And the future Amazon Bound customer now starts to look for how to prepare for the Amazon interview. They use primarily Google and YouTube to find out what that process looks like. And as they do their search and they do their homework, they figure out that this is a very, very elaborate process that takes a long amount of time, and that more than 80% of the people, more than 90% of the people who apply to Amazon, they get flunked. They flunk the whole process. So this future prospective Amazon Bound customer now is seriously worried. They want to do well. They want to change their life. They want to join Amazon. And now they're trying to find out how they can get prepared to ace their Amazon interview. And again, their 2 main platforms where they obtain this information are Google search and YouTube search. And that's where I am publishing organic content, where these customers can find me and figure out if I'm a good fit for them or not, and engage with me first on a trial basis with some free content, and then on a paid basis as a paid customer. So you can see how I have mapped the behaviors very deeply and concretely of what each of these Amazon Bound prospective customers are going through. And you should do that as well. And there's no way in heck that you can do so with a platform that hides the customer information from you. Okay. So then once you have all that information, you can then massage it in a number of different ways and analyze the data. I'll show you how I analyze this data in my case. Here's an offline file that I have in Excel. I have hidden some of the more sensitive information from you, but here are the products that people are purchasing from me, their customer type, whether it's a pair or recurring revenue, their ethnicity, that's important for me, the immigrant status, believe it or not, that's very important for interview preparation service like mine, where they're coming from, city and state, customer profile. This is very interesting, and you might want to engage in more deep understanding of your customers. In my case, I place customers into 3 behavioral categories. 1 is ego overachievers. Those are people who have never interviewed with Amazon. 2 is grizzled second timers. Those are people who have interviewed with Amazon before and they failed, and now they're looking for a better way. And 3 is irrational rebooters. Those are people who are being maybe laid off from another place and they're somewhat desperate to find a job, and their chances are not that high, but they still need the help anyway. So I am categorizing these customers here based on their behavioral map. Their interview outcome is next, of whether Amazon hired them or not, the job function, the acquisition source of how these customers found me, whether it was a YouTube channel or a referral or a repeat business. And with this information, I can slice the business in a number of different ways. If I go here to my website, I can genuinely state to my future customers and prospective customers that we have 67% of the people who work with Amazon Bound get hired by Amazon. And I count the outcomes of these interviews on a case-by-case basis, as you saw already. And without this information being available to me, I'm not going to be able to grow my business and reach new customers. So in terms of how you reach out to customers to engage in a conversation, there are a number of ways you can do so. I'll talk more about them in the next video. But to get us going here, a platform like Teachable, I'll show you, is going to give you the opportunity to email your customers. So they have a whole CRM system, which is inactive for me right now because I've moved to a different school, but they let you reach out to your customers directly. You can also use a platform like MailChimp, which is something that I use. You can also directly email customers from your inbox with Google Mail. All right, now that you know how to move your courses from a platform like Udemy to a platform like Teachable, where you will have complete access to your customers' information, you are ready for the next step in our 7-day challenge of making and selling courses online and making hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process. That next step is step number 5, where you will find out how to build your own online presence, your own framework of reaching out to customers and these customers finding you. You will find out how to do so right here in this next video, where I'll show you step by step how to create your online presence. I'll see you in this next video soon.